Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 41 of Civilization 5 as Rome. I can't really remember what I was doing, except I know that I was trying to go for a spaceship victory now. I still do have to be very, very careful of Japan. He has a lot of stuff around. He might decide to come after me, so I'm definitely going to have to prepare a force to deal with him if that becomes the case. I'll still keep churning out Navy where I can, and we'll just make sure that we've got enough stuff to hold him off, assuming that he decides to get a little bit fresh. But I would like to try and wrap this playthrough up. I'm almost excited to attempt to do the game on Deity. I said almost. I mean, steady on. But yeah, I think this is going to be a win. I mean, I could be wrong. You never know. But this will make at least a couple of legitimate wins on Immortal. And then we might as well just jump into Deity and see if we can win with that. So I decided a few videos ago that I wasn't going to continue my attempt for a conquest victory. I probably could have beaten a lot of the other AIs. You're not even coastal. We could have probably got Marrakesh. We could have also probably even got Sukhothai and Palenque. And while we probably could get Kyoto, Japan is just very, very strong. And they're holding London at the moment as well. So I've decided to abandon that idea and just try and get a tech victory. It should be possible, so that's what we're going to be working towards. So what I was doing, when I remember this, I'd got a few units and I was just trying to surround Japan, not too much to declare war on them, but just so that I could hopefully fight back against them if they decided to declare war on me. Would you be, we're actually friends, would you be willing to give me the, is it 360? I think it's 360. Yep, you would. There we go. Just a straight up 360 gold. That could be useful if we need to purchase anything in an emergency. Now, we do have a great engineer. We can use him to build spaceship parts, so that's one of the reasons why I was keeping him around. At least I believe we can. I'll double check. It's a day of bad memories. Where were we? So it's our ideology. Yeah, spaceflight engineers. Great may finish spaceship parts with great engineers. So that's fine. What have we got here then? Borders have grown. Not too bothered about that. Gold per turn from Pakal. We were selling wine to Pakal. That's the deal we've just... No, apparently it's not the deal we've just redone. Oh, he's afraid of us. I think everybody should be afraid of us at this point. So, will you give us another 360? Yeah, brilliant. Good stuff. Assign delegates. So this is for world leader. Well, we'll just keep voting for ourselves at this point. We're unlikely that we're going to be able to get a diplomatic victory, but we should be able to stop anybody else from getting one, so that's not too much of a problem. And we're just going to keep moving these ships down into position. That's a missile cruiser, isn't it? Or is that, yeah, that's a missile cruiser. So we're actually getting some missile cruisers down towards Japan. That is going to become useful. Everyone else is just going to stay up here. Obviously, their borders are expanding, so it is pushing a few units back away from the city, but that's fine. Japan's building up quite a navy. I'm just hoping we've got enough of a navy to sort of convince him not to attack. We should be okay, but sometimes it's a little difficult to tell. Can't see any missile cruisers of his yet. He doesn't even seem to have many destroyers. What he mainly seems to have is frigates, well, battleships, and some artillery over there. No world leader chosen, which is what we expected. Siam and Japan are now friends. Okay, fair enough. And I think you can go possibly down here. This is our territory. You're a little bit cornered if you sit there, but you're in a relatively good position, I think. And of course, we've just got a few turns where we can't really do an awful lot. And Japan just pointlessly moving men around, and they seem to have a workboat in there that they don't really know what to do with. They've already got a workboat here. I think they were hoping to build on this tile, or maybe this tile. Maybe they're trying to get to this tile. That's quite a possibility, I suppose. And they do have a workboat on that one. So there's still some people at war with each other. We've finished our spaceship factory in Rome. We're now working on the stasis chamber. We've also finished our spaceship factory in Cumae. I think we got the free one in Cumae, didn't we? So we're working on the SS booster there. So things are generally good. Karakorum has finished its castle. It might be worth going and making sure we get ourselves another nuclear submarine. We could be working on spaceship parts, but we do have some places that have spaceship factories and they will build a lot quicker. You should be doing nothing anyway. We have a cargo ship. Where were you going? Let's look at highest gold. Do we really want to send you to Japan? Not really. We'll send you to Antananarivo. And again, another turn where we can't do an awful lot there. We're about to get another missile cruiser from Belo Horizonte. I mean, I might even be strong enough to actually beat Japan in a war now, but given the fact we're on turn 536 already, I think that we'll actually get a science victory before I can take all of the capital cities that I need to. So, the science victory would technically be quicker at this point anyway. There's Brazil, still moving around with privateers. Okay, there we go. Unit promotion. Oh, we actually have ourselves a fighter over here. Let's give you interception 1 and 2. Because that's mainly what you are going to be used for. And I do have 4 planes on a carrier over there. I do have another carrier over here. So you are going to get rebased onto this carrier. Now, what are we going to build there in its place? Well, we've got a lot of things we need to build. Sao Paulo has completed the medical lab. What could we get over here? Another paratrooper. Cancel that, actually. No, not the paratrooper. We want XCOM squads. They're much better. We also have Antium here, which has finished the fighter. Now, do we want to build a spaceship part here? No, let's go ahead and get another fighter. We do have enough oil, only just. Fighter, there we go. And then we've got Belo Horizonte that has completed that missile cruiser. We could go ahead and work on another missile cruiser. Yeah, 44 turns for the SS booster is quite slow. Let's go ahead here and get ourselves another missile cruiser then, I think. We'll just make sure we've got plenty of navy to deal with any problems. Units needing orders, you're just going to stay there. That is a lot of stuff they have. Carrier, you're just going to go to sleep. And we still have this caravan. Where were you going before? You were going to Yerevan. We should probably continue with that. Not all that useful these days. In fact, what we're going to do, we are going to send production to Kume, because that way we can try and build spaceship parts there a little bit more quickly. We have ourselves another missile cruiser. I think this guy I'm going to sort of bring all the way down here, so we've got a little bit more protection against any units that might be coming out of Nagoya. So let's get on to the next turn. Not too sure how many more videos this series is going to be. Might be a little bit uneventful. Hopefully Japan aren't going to declare war, because that'll just slow things down if they do. If they're the ones that declare the war, of course, they get the first shot, which could be problematic. I'm not going to give you open borders. When are you going to realise that that is not going to happen? So bear in mind we will have a great engineer that we can use to build at least one of the spaceship parts. So it shouldn't take too long. It's more going to come down to how quickly we can get the science done. How quickly we can actually get all of the text that we need. Maybe we should just go and... Well, there's no point spying on people because we are ahead of everybody else in terms of tech anyway. You're just going to go and intercept. And on to the next turn because there's still nothing we can do. And Yerevan's not actually allied to me at the moment. They're allied to Siam, but we're not fighting against those, so it's not a problem. So my workers are just going around there building trading posts everywhere. Copper for ivory. Yeah, let's keep that going. Everyone's afraid of us right now anyway, which probably does include Japan. Can't actually click on him at the moment because it's the AI's turn. But if he's afraid of us, he probably won't declare war. We're saving up quite a bit of money now as well, which is really nice. I could go around and use this money and start bribing city-states, and that would possibly give us a chance of winning a diplomatic victory, but I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, Japan is afraid of us, so that is fine. Rome has grown in population. That's actually quite good. Let's get our citizen management open there. And we are working a production tile. City wouldn't let me click on it. I suppose that is fine. Just keep working those production tiles, I suppose. Working on the stasis chamber there. After the stasis chamber, I guess you go on to another booster, probably. Unit needing orders. Helicopter gunship. Yeah, this is mainly going to be for protection. So, I don't get to build them very often. So, we'll basically leave that lying around. The helicopter gunships are just upgrades from, like, Lancers. So, they're basically anti-tank. They don't technically count as an aircraft. Although they do take a lot of damage from anti-air units. They're a little bit weird. So all tiles have one movement cost, which is one of their first sort of things that they can do. So because they're not technically in contact with the ground, they can move over any sort of terrain type for only one movement cost. It's a hovering unit. Bonus versus tank, so as you can see it is anti-tank, gets 100 bonus versus tanks. Doesn't get any defensive terrain bonuses because of course it's hovering and it's unable to capture cities. I was fairly certain they took more damage from anti-aircraft units, although it isn't technically an aircraft. But can we get more money out of you for this now you're afraid? No. Got anything that I want to swap with you? You've got cotton, but you won't give me a fair trade, will you? Not for cotton, no. Okay, fine. We'll just take that 3 gold per turn. Don't really need it now. Actually making a decent amount of money. So we'll just let the AI fight amongst themselves and keep each other busy. Japan technically doesn't even hate me. They covet lands that I own. Well, that's hardly a surprise. We're now working on particle physics, so we'll be able to build the engine. Now, you've actually got some stuff. Would you be willing to trade any of this? I've only got 1 silver left, so we're not going to do that anyway. Okay, so we've got a new construction project over here. We've completed that SS booster. Let's get that one going. You're fine right where you are. We have another cargo ship. You were going 26 from that city-state. Let's get you going to Antananarivo as well then. All good stuff. 68 turns away from a great engineer. That's probably a little bit longer than I'm willing to wait. We've got that SS booster here. Let's get it over into the city. We can't actually do it because that general's in there. Let's just move him out temporarily. So let's move you in. There we go. We've got our booster. And go on to the next turn. You've arrived now. You're going to sit over... Now, what are you? You're a missile cruiser. You don't have indirect fire, but you can sit over here, I suppose. Just go on alert. So, we're building the stasis chamber over here in Rome. We're working on the... I think that's the last booster, possibly, over here in Kume. So, in 13 turns, we're definitely going to have most of the spaceship. In 15 turns, we'll have particle physics, which will allow us to build the engine. So things aren't going too badly right now. Fairly decent on production. Apparently I have spare wine. You won't give me any more than 3 gold per turn. We already know this. Oddly enough, Morocco is still only guarded. He's not afraid, even though I have nukes. Well, I have a nuke. I should probably consider building another one at some point, just so that I have a backup plan. But I doubt we're really going to have time. Everything else we're looking good on. You know, 27 happiness. Rio has grown, so maybe we can squeeze something more out of this city. That's not a terrible tile, although you're not really doing an awful lot over here. I don't want to build spaceship parts over there, although they may have an airport. Unit needs orders, this great general. You can go back into the city for now, because at least you are safe in there, and we'll just go on to the next turn again. I am almost expecting Japan to declare war. They just have so many units around this city here. I'd be really, really surprised if they didn't declare war. That said, I could quite easily just draw all of my units back and drop a nuke here. It's not really going to do an awful lot of damage to any improvements, but it would certainly get rid of a lot of his units in one foul swoop. But there probably isn't really a lot of point in attacking, it's just going to slow me down. It's certainly going to slow the turns down anyway, so I'd sooner not have this particular series last for another 20 episodes if we can avoid fighting. I see I've got a random railroad up there I'm paying for that I don't need. I should probably go and remove that, not that it's a big problem. Beshbalik and Belo Horizonte have grown. Yeah, you're now working very crap tiles. We've exhausted all of the decent things you can work now. You can't even reach that fish tile, can you? That's quite disappointing. What was the other one? Was it Belo Horizonte? What are you working? You are working that tile, which is not great, but it's not one of the worst tiles there, so carry on, I suppose. Actually, Or either of you could be working... No, you're working the research lab and everything else down there. What about the other one? You are... You, for some reason, are lacking a research lab. I'm just going to go ahead and buy that research lab. At least by doing that, we are speeding up the science gain a little bit, so... It'll mean that we can get our spaceship parts all the more quickly, which is what we should be doing. I'm sure there's still 1 or 2 cities that I don't have all of the specialists assigned to the science buildings, so I could go around and sort those out, but it's probably a little bit too much micromanagement at this stage. Hopefully once we get this great writer, we'll be able to have a little look and see what our next great person is going to be. I might even spend the great writer for the... free culture points. I don't think there's an awful lot of point in trying to get tourism at this stage in the game anyway. Japan is beating me only slightly. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get a culture victory anyway, so I don't think there's an awful lot of point in doing that. Japan's constructing the Manhattan Project. We want crabs, we want whales, we want cotton. It's all tough. Antium has grown. Again, this city's been working terrible tiles for quite some time, so I can't do an awful lot there. You do have all of the science buildings, though. Unit needing orders. Again, we're sort of just getting pushed back by Japan's ever-expanding border. So, let us continue through. 11 turns until particle physics. That's unless we get a great scientist before then. I don't think we will. I could just go and check what our great person progress is, but we'll have a look once we get this right, or it'll tell us up there on the interface. We can't steal from anybody because we are the tech leader. I don't think that they're... Would you be willing to do a fair trade? One of our cities does want cotton. No, you're not willing to do a fair trade. Will you give me 5 gold per turn?
No.
4. You're only going to give me 3, aren't you? No. Fine, better than nothing. I've forgotten what I was even saying now. Just that we're trying to reduce the amount of tech we need to get these technologies. I don't think there's any way I can significantly boost my science. We can't steal from anybody. Getting great scientists at this stage is unlikely. Not sure if there's any policies or anything that I could take that would drastically improve science in any meaningful way either. So we'll take another turn. Let Japan jig some of their units around. Oh, they're definitely moving some planes. I say one thing. If Japan do decide they're going to attack me, I'm going to seriously do some damage to them. I am not going to play nicely if they go to war with me. We're still making good money, though. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's an old deal that we had going before. We will... do we still have wine and dice spare? Yeah, we do. So we'll keep that going. Making plenty of money at the moment, given the fact that we're not really spending it. I could try and get cotton from one of these people to get the city growth, but again, I don't really think that we need it. 1 turn away from getting that great writer. I guess we could try and improve our faith and get a great engineer or a great scientist more quickly, but... Oh, 2 turns away from a great scientist. Fantastic. Sao Paulo has grown. You have decided to go and work a production-heavy tile, which I don't really mind. In fact, no, I do. Go and work that, because let's get the science. Let's get the extra science, and let's go back to there again, actually. You are not working all of your research tiles. That'll slow your growth down, but I don't mind that too much. So, choose a production. Karakoram has finished a nuclear submarine. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a... Do we want a nuclear missile, or do we want an atomic bomb? Let's go ahead and get ourselves a nuclear missile. Let's make sure we're prepared for what Japan might throw at us. You guys built a trading post on that tile. Most of the other ones have got trading posts on them. There aren't that many useful tiles around for you guys to do anything with. I guess you can just sort of go on to automation now. Find something useful to do. And what have we got here? Nuclear submarine. Let's get you down and around to Japan's borders. We have ourselves our great writer. I am going to use him to write a political treaty, so that will give us a free social policy that we can take straight away. So we could go and get exploration now. It's not all that useful. What would it allow us? Allow us to purchase great admirals. Don't really need that. What about in here? Could we grab another level 1 tenant? Well, we're not. Well, we have built some buildings. We're not really bothered about that. Local happiness from workshops and factories. Local happiness from natural wonders. We don't really need those. Is there anything we could get that would increase our science? Well, to be honest, no. Nothing's really going to help here at all. We could finish that off, but I don't really see the point. It seems like a bit of a waste. Let's go and take one of these then. We'll get the gold cost of reducing buildings. Who knows, we might still buy another building or two if need be. So we'll finish this turn off, and then we will, well, we'll definitely have to do at least one more video. I've got a little bit of a theory, and that theory might be that Japan is planning to attack. Call it a hunch, but that seems suspicious. We're already selling you dyes, I think. But if you want to buy dyes again... That's weird. I'm sure I sold him dyes as part of a deal where I sold him the dyes with something else. Or maybe it was wine. I don't know. I'm just convinced he's buying wine from me twice. If Japan pulls the trigger here, there's a nuke going right in onto this patch of ships. I tell you that for certain. Where is my nuke currently? I'd like to know where it is. It's probably... I do have one somewhere. Is it here? Yeah, there's my atomic bomb. So, we've definitely got a chance of doing something. What have we got here? We have our new fighter. I'm going to leave you on... I'm going to give you interception, but for the time being, I'm actually going to leave you on intercept at the city, just because... I don't really want to put you on the aircraft carrier and risk the carrier getting sunk. To that end, let's also rebase this fighter back over here as well, in case he does try that. Choose our production. We are going to work on... Let's get a rocket artillery in there, then we can use that to fight back if we need to. Rio de Janeiro has finished its mobile SAM. That is fine. Can we get anything that'll give us any... Well, we can get Garden. It might give us great person, faster great people. Mobile Sam. I think we'll just leave you there for now. And that's all I can do for this turn. So I'm going to call an end to the video there. Hopefully when we come back, Japan won't pull the trigger, and we'll see how close we can get to a victory. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Civilization 5 as Rome, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye for now.